Hello, my most awesome keyboard friends. How are you doing today? I keep getting a question about this keyboard called Go Keys 5 and how that compares with the Yamaha DGX-670. I get this question quite a lot and I want to answer it once and for all. There's no basis for comparison. When it comes to the piano action on this keyboard, you cannot compare the piano action on this keyboard to this. I do not consider the Go Keys 5 to be a worthy contender when it comes to piano action. First of all, it has 61 keys. This has 88 keys and they're weighted. The Go keys, in my opinion, are nowhere near weighted. They're nothing like playing a real piano. I have a different mindset and a different feel when I play the Go Keys piano, and I need to put myself into a different thought process. I need to be aware of the difference between striking this with all force versus that, because I'm gonna end up breaking that. So when it comes to piano action, DGX-670 wins hands down. There's no deliberation about that. The way it makes me compose on piano on the DGX is very different. I get into a totally different zone. Now, that is not to say I cannot channel certain aspects, but it's not the same. It's just not the same. And there's no basis for comparison. So with that out of the way, how does a Go Keys stack up next to the DGX in terms of beats? I'll just tell you straight up, when it comes to beats on the Go Keys, when it comes to today beats, like today's rhythms, just give the Go Keys a hand clap because they've done really well bringing the most modern rhythms into the Go Keys keyboard. Not to mention the dongle. When you put the dongle into Go Keys, it blows a lot of other keyboards out of the water. Now, it's not to say that the sounds from the DGX are not great. They're great. It's got some really nice drum kits. It's just that to activate the special powers on the DGX, you need to program. And I know a lot of people may not be given to that, but I want to remind you what the Go Keys cannot do and the DGX can do. The DGX-670 can create world rhythms. Now, bear in mind, these are custom rhythms. I created this one, for example. That was an Afrobeat one. What about Arabic? Now, on the Go Keys, you can go into the Roland Cloud and get something similar, but it's not custom, built from scratch. So when it comes to building your own styles and rhythms, like this, I wanted to get a McCoy Elvin-ish feel. And I was able to program that on the DGX. This was all programmed from scratch. When I wanted to channel my inner Elvin and McCoy and John and Jimmy, well, I know where to go to do that. It's the DGX. So let's not get it twisted and mixed up. This keyboard has its strength. This keyboard has its strength. Okay? And together, they form a lethal combination to play really awesome music. If you haven't checked out my video, Go Keys meets DGX, you should. But in terms of how the DGX wins, it's in the ability to customize your own rhythms. I just played a couple for you. I didn't play my Neo Soul from scratch. This is all from scratch. That's all from scratch. All from scratch. So, depending on what you're after, right? If you're a serious musician and you're looking to create beats, DGX can help you get your ideas down, the rhythms, regardless of time signature, right? DGX can help you do that. Now, if you want already made beats and sounds and loops and some really mind-blowing sounds, then Go Keys is a good one to get. Honestly, I'm glad I've got both, because now I have an unending list of possibilities. I have a Trident, a Korg Trident. I have an Ensoniq that has got really lush sounds if I need to do film kind of stuff. And I've got a Motif XF8, which is just bananas. It's really good till today. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, right? So anyone, you know, trying to say that the Motif is better than the Ensoniq, or the Ensoniq is better than, you know, they all have their strength. And then I have a Kawai Baby Grand, and it's like saying, oh, the Baby Grand is better than these. No, they all have their role. They all have their place. Okay, so if you have any questions for me about any of these keyboards, you've seen me play a number of them. You've seen me play the Montage, the Nords, Stage 4. You see me play some of the Casios. I have a very wide palette when it comes to keyboards. But one thing I don't do is compromise the truth. I will always tell you what I feel. If I feel something's whack, I'm going to say it. If I feel something is really good, I'm going to say it. So you can be rest assured, I don't work for any of these companies at this point. I'm not saying I'm looking forward to. I kind of like my autonomy. I like to be able to say what I want about any keyboard. So I would rather not work directly for any of them. But I will promote good music. I will promote great keyboards. Like when I hear great sounds, I'm going to tell you straight up, you know, it's good. And if it ain't good, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you it's not good. But just remember, we all have different ways of hearing. We all have different ways of perceiving music. That's why we all have different tastes. Some people hate rock and roll. I love rock and roll. Some people hate jazz. I love jazz. Some people couldn't care for world music, but I do. I have a very wide palette. I also play various instruments. So I play the guitar, I play the bass. I took saxophone lessons a number of times and can find my way around the instrument. I also play the recorder. So when I'm critiquing certain sounds, I am not coming from the angle of just a pianist. I'm coming from the angle of someone who's into music in general and who likes various genres and various instruments. All right? I hope that gave you some perspective as to how I see the Go Keys 5 and the DGX. I know some of you be thinking, Phill doesn't do DGX videos anymore. Hey, check out the hundreds of hours of videos. Okay, maybe that's a stretch. How about 50 hours of videos that I have up here on YouTube?